What is this car good at? That's what we're going to find out on today's showcase of the McLaren 650S. Before we go over tuning and driving, we're going to go over the specs of the car and some things that I like and I dislike. It's got a twin-turbo 4-liter V8 that develops 650 brake horsepower, maybe that's why they call it a 650S, and 500 foot-pounds of torque, which will push it to a top speed of 204, and it will go to 0 to 60 in about 2.9 seconds. It's give or take, the website lists 62 miles an hour in 3 seconds, which is pretty good, even comparing it to its meaner older brothers and sisters, which are much faster. Some of the things I like, it looks a lot like its younger brother, the McLaren 12C, which is one of my most favorite looking cars of all time. It's a convertible, it sounds great, it's got a wide body kit that looks awesome. The wide body kit has a front splitter already built in, so you have adjustable aero and you don't have to buy another one. The shop says it costs $420,000, which is hilarious. Even though they missed it by a day, we'll forgive them. And the tires are not on semi-slick, so you can go semi-slick and regular slick racing tire, which gives you a lot of grip upgradability from stock as well as power. Now for my dislikes. To be honest, there's only one, and I don't like that it has no customization besides the one rear wing that matches with the body kit. There's nothing else. There's no bumpers, there's no diffusers in the back, there's nothing. And I was kind of hoping that there would be, because some of the other McLarens have some. I don't know if I'm being nitpicky, and I know it's hard to get a whole bunch of new stuff into the game all the time, but that's just my gripe. Now let's get into the driving and the tuning. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is an on-road tune to see how this thing gets on the streets. I think we're just going to take it up to top of S1 and see how we go from there. We're going to make it wide body and all-wheel drive right off the bat, because the all-wheel drive lately seems to be, like from the cars I've noticed, seems to be taking our PI points down, and that's good. It gives us better handling, etc. The wing, we're going to go with the Liberty Walk body wing. The Liberty Walk wing to match the body, the wide body. There's no front arrow. It comes custom tunable or stock tunable with the wide body. We're going to leave it on the stock tires. We are going to make them wider though. Quite a bit wider, as it turns out. I didn't realize how wide those tires went. And then the rest of the upgrades, pretty much race transmission, anti-roll bars, etc. We're probably not going to add the cage, and we're probably not going to add the body weight reduction, but we will add power. Cams, of course, give us a little bit higher RPM to shift at. And can we do the twin turbos? We can. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And then some exhaust to finish it out. Dang, that is spot on. So in the end, we end up a little bit heavier, about 200 pounds heavier. Not surprised with the wide body kit. More than 100 horsepower more, and it looks like our lateral Gs have gone up 0.3 of a G, which means good stuff for cornering. Alright, here we are in an S1 Rivals time. Let's jump to our flying lap. Alright, there we go. It is a sub 1 minute S1 car, which means it is competitive with some of the best of them. At least when it's me driving them. Now let's set this guy up for off-road and see what it can do off-road. We're going to leave the wide body off of it. We're going to make it all-wheel drive, and we're going to put the new engine in it. Not the new engine, the other engine. We're going to make it all-wheel drive. We're going to leave the wide body off of it, and we are going to put the Racing V12 in it, I think. Because as soon as we add those off-road tires, it's going to drop the performance index points like nobody's business. I think we're going to leave the aero off of it because we don't really need that off-road. 876. And then pretty much everything else rally set up. We're going to put racing everything in it except for the suspension. We're going to add the roll cage, and we're going to make it lighter, because lighter does better off-road. And then we will fill in the rest of our power with probably the valves. They seem to add the least. Oh, we can add more. Perfect, right there. That makes us quite a bit lighter, and gives us quite a bit more horsepower. So now let's take it up to the track and see what it can do. Alright, same thing again. Let's jump to our flying lap. Alright, first try. Let's jump to drifting now. Alright, let's see how this thing drifts. I think we're going to make it into an all-wheel drive drift car because I have a hard time drifting mid-engine cars, as does everyone, because the weight, when the weight is closer to the rear or more to the center or closer to the rear, it increases your momentum going around a corner and it's harder to hang on to it. So we're going to make it all-wheel drive, which hopefully gives us a little bit more grip in the front and grabs the car, makes it easier to turn. My favorite drift car in this game is an all-wheel drive drift car. It's the Apollo. So let's see. Let's make it all-wheel drive. We're going to leave it not wide body. We're going to add all the power because we want all the power. Oh, no, turbo 2. And then basically just do what we do for racing. Basically, we're just going to fully upgrade this thing. We're going to put it on drift tires and drift suspension. Alright, let's see what we end up with. 1,191 horsepower, and it only weighs 2,800 pounds. 2.1 on the lateral G's, which doesn't matter. So now, the trick is going to be tuning this thing to see if it will actually tune good for an all-wheel drive drift car. So I'll jump back to me drifting. Alright, here we go. Let's see how she does as an all-wheel drive drift car. You do kind of have to rip the e-brake a little bit while you're drifting this car, because if you don't, I mean, all-wheel drive drift cars tend to have that issue. All of them do. Even Ken Block's Hoonigan, not Hoonigan, Hoonicorn. I don't drive that. I really don't. I don't like it that much. This reminds me a lot of that Apollo that I like driving. Quite a lot. That you can really get this thing sideways and still pull it out. Holy cow. This may be my new top scorer car. Ooh, keep her sideways. You can really get this thing sideways. I don't think this is going to be my top score car, but it is still really, really good. Throw it in reverse because I screwed up. $971. That is not half bad. My best is $1,000,006, which is not super high, but it is still pretty good. All right, my final thoughts on this car. It's good at pretty much everything. It's a good drifter. It's really, really good off-road, and it's good on-road as well. It seems to be, for me, the best off-road. It could just be me, and in fact, it pretty much is probably just me. I got a really, really good time for me on that course. In my personal best, in a car that I specifically built for off-road, that is meant for off-road in S1, it was 2 seconds slower than this car, or second and a half, give or take, something like that. So, final thoughts, this car's great. I like it a lot, and I'm going to go put a sick paint job on it and make it my race car. It's probably going to be used off-road mostly for me, but I will use it on-road for sure as well. Check the description for all of the share codes as well. I will have thrown them on screen, and I will have shown you the tunes for all of these, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.